Hello and welcome to the Monday Night Quarterback Week 8 edition. My goodness, I said it last week and I'll say it again this week. I cannot believe that we're here. We're not the halfway point for the fantasy football season. We are past that. I've got the Twin King telling me that he's got, we need to pause here in just a couple of minutes to make some bottles. So I'm going to jump into this introduction. How you doing, sir? What's going on?
Oh, it's going good. It's going good. Fantasy teams are looking good, even though the lack of sleep is setting in now.
Maybe that's your jam, right? Is sleep less, study fantasy more, Could that be it?
No, I think I'm just delirious when I'm doing this. Kind of blindfolded picking. So it's working out though. We're gonna roll with it and see how it goes.
Maybe you should have twins again next year.
Yeah, no.
And then
awful idea.
If the Twin King's not enough, because let's be honest, he is enough. He could just sit here and talk to us, and we'd all be entertained for that long, and it'd be fine. But we are fortunate, we're blessed enough to have another gentleman. He runs PetSmart worldwide. He's taken time out of his busy schedule to be with us here tonight to talk about the fantasy football. Mr. Bob Kirby Kings, how you doing, sir?
Man, I tell you what, I was having an okay day until I got here, so I'm doing really good.
Well, welcome to the highlight of your evening, sir. I tell you what, maybe this will be the highlight of your fantasy football season too. It's not going so great.
Yeah. I'm here for a couple reasons tonight. One, to change my fantasy football karma because something's got to give. I'm having a good week this week. We'll get to that later. And then also, your father last week, he kind of jumped on my parade a little bit and put me down. So I got to be on this week. I got to be on this week to defend the Kirby Kings and to change the pace a little bit.
We're used to you as a perennial guy who's there. We're used to you as a perennial playoff player. We're not used to anything less than that. So we got half the season left to go. Let's see what happens, right?
That's right. You know what? I'm not used to being in the basement unless I go in the basement, obviously, but there's no basements in Florida. So things will turn around. I have a good feeling we're going to go another way.
And as a guy, I'm sorry to interrupt you, Bob, but as a guy who is wearing a Sam LaPorta jersey figuratively on my back right now because I needed him to score 8 points to get a tie, just watching him score a touchdown for the Detroit Lions, I'm telling you what, guys, I'm having a hell of a night. I don't know how many yards that was, but he's in the end zone. We got a pulse. Drew, kick us off with some NFL picks, please.
Well, that's exciting news. It's hard to follow that, but I mean, exciting for you, not for somebody else. We'll get there. Yep. In the picks, back to normal this week. It seems like replacements 12-3. Man, he's been at the top of that board a lot this year.
He's zoned in.
Yeah, he is, man. He's zoned in.
He doesn't have twins.
He doesn't have twins.
He's not running PetSmart worldwide. I don't know what he's doing, but he's just crushing it. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, absolutely. I mean, everybody picked San Francisco. Everybody picked Kansas City, and then he picked Green Bay over Minnesota, and those are the only 3 losses he has so far this week. So that's good. I got second with 11-4. Bandits 9-6. Sharks, Tsunami, Coyotes, and Empire all at 9-6. We got 2 at 8-7, Players Club and Kirby Kings, and then the Niners 7-8, and the Golden Taints, rough week, 5-10. And that's what we got for week 8.
Hey, you know what though, Drew? 5-10, a lot better than 0-15.
That is, yeah. Are we talking about the Bushwhackers anymore in this? Because
I feel like we should stop.
He quit.
We should give as much effort as he does.
He quit.
0-15. That's a real stat for this. That's a real stat.
Yeah, Bob. Isn't that nuts?
I mean, he's 0 for those last 30, and we were wondering how this strategy was going to play out. We can safely assume it's not going to go well for him.
No, Bob, he quit. I think he got too far behind. He took his ball. He went home.
He did.
He jumped out of the sandbox and took off. I get it.
Don't you go doing that, Bob. We need you for at least an hour, okay?
No, I'm not taking off. Not yet.
Right. Thank you.
Well, he's not going to do that in the picks because he's leading the picks right now with 77 wins. So you don't
Golf
win
clap.
the 77 pot for having 77 wins, but it does feel good to sit at the top of that halfway through the season. Replacements can't in second now, 75, big week for him. And then I got 74, Mike 72, Sharks, Bandits, Coyotes Club, and Tsunami at 71. 69ers, they're at 66, 3 away from the big number. Maybe he'll get it next week. Empire 66 and the Taint 63, and the Bushwhackers are a DNP.
Yeah, we could just stop there.
Yeah. He's doubtful to return to the NFL picks this season. Him and Kirk Cousins' Achilles looking the same.
I do have to say it is good to hear about how the Kings we are Nostrobabus. We can make some good. So it does feel good to see that we're doing something right. We're doing something right.
Hey,
Bob, all hope is not lost. You're still in there somewhere. We just have to pull out more than just the picks and find out. Let Bob blossom. Let the flower bloom here. It starts tonight, Bob.
I think it's the Bring Back Bob campaign. Can't say that. And Bring Back Bob. I think this is the night it all happens for the Kings.
And it is a political season, so I think we throw that campaign in the ring.
Drew, if it's okay with you, never before have I let anybody give themselves their own nickname, but Bob Stradamus. I mean, damn, I could not come up with anything better than that.
That's solid. When you throw a good one out there like that, we'll just pretend like somebody else came up with it. That's what we do. Yeah.
Drew, great call on that Bob Stradamus nickname tonight.
That's right. That's what I am. I'm a thinker.
That's right.
That's how I roll.
How about
going over to the eliminator. We got the Bushwhackers Land Sharks replacements all looking good and clean on the season. You guys had the Chargers, and then Whackers took Dallas. So he is still in the eliminator. Dallas, solid pick, good win. The Chargers, they won as well. So Sharks replacements, good there. Kirby Kings has Detroit. I have Detroit. That is ongoing, and due to Sam LaPorta, it's looking a little bit healthier. They at halftime now?
They just went to halftime.
Yeah, halftime.
Everybody loves Sam LaPorta. This is a Sam LaPorta friendly podcast.
Yeah, absolutely. With a name like that too, it's got to be good.
Yeah.
LaPorta,
and then go ahead.
Isn't LaPorta like two names? LaPorta. I gotta let me write that down real quick.
Yeah. LaPorta.
He might as well be two names, Bob, because that's how many points he gets. He gets you the points worth of 2 tight ends.
Beautiful.
That's not hard to do. If he gets 1 point, he gets more points than most tight ends.
Amen to that.
Detroit outstanding. Tsunami took Philly. That's a win. He's blade running, 1 down. Kirby Kings will be undefeated if Detroit wins. I have 1 loss. Yeah, I will stay alive if Detroit wins. And I think everybody else is out. The club coming back strong. Took Las Vegas last week. Not to be deterred. 2 losses. He picked the Chargers. He was ready to go. He was ready to go.
How about he's following lockstep with the 69ers down there?
That's right. Yep. Yeah, 69. Oh, they keep missing. They just keep missing.
3 in a row.
Yeah.
Now we're on a streak.
Yeah, that's a hat trick of suckage right there for the Niners.
Yeah. Now,
that's
Drew,
good.
I know that it's not my job to update on the survivor pool, but please help me out here. I think it's a 2 strikes and you're out kind of deal, kind of like slow pitch softball. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Something like that.
Well, if there was any confusion, now he's out in regular hard pitch as well.
Yeah,
so.
the Empire realized that she had dropped the ball in week 5 with the Washington Commanders pick. They can't even figure out a team name. You thought they were going to win that game.
Right.
Yeah, it didn't work out. But she did. She backed it up with 2 wins, trying to get back into the flow.
Drew,
too late.
I got big news about the Empire coming up here later in our podcast. A little bit of a cliffhanger. I don't want to do it while you're away. I'll make sure that you're back for this. But I got big news about the Empire that I can't wait to drop later.
I like it.
Are you dipping now? Or are you?
I am on the hard break here.
Okay. Come back, join us. Leave us signed in if you don't mind. Try not to disrupt any kind of audio technical stuff.
Yeah,
and then Bob,
you guys don't tell too many jokes about me while I'm gone.
Okay.
And then I'll be back to make fun of you guys, which I'm not making fun of either of you guys won. So
now I
a
know
lot of in-person content there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to start the watch because I know you should be an experienced dude, right? Making bottles. This is your fourth and fifth child.
I'm waiting on a bottle warmer. That's what I'm. It's like, man, this thing, Yeah. We gotta go. Gotta go.
All right, you take off. We'll hold it down. We'll get you back ASAP.
All right.
In the meantime, Bob.
Yeah.
I thought maybe this would be a good opportunity for us to kind of introduce the people who might not know you to Bob Kirby. Tell us how long you've been doing fantasy. What do you enjoy about it? Where kind of are your roots? And then I got a little story about Bob as well.
Yeah, so I started in fantasy football in 1994, believe it or not. This is when there was no stat service. We actually did all the stats. My friend Greg, a.k.a. the Luber, rest in peace, he would do all the stats, and we would actually send them to people's houses to show them where they were each week. So in 1994, I started fantasy football. And from there, it kind of took off. I'd always done fantasy baseball, probably since I would say 1992. So I've been in the fantasy realm for, it feels like 100 years, even though it isn't 100 years, but it obviously feels like it. So met a lot of wonderful people doing fantasy sports, had several championships over the years, especially in baseball. And in football, I'm kind of turning into a football school as the years go by, where, we've had some great years in the past. Not this year so far, but there's still time.
Yeah. Like I said earlier, we're used to you winning.
I know.
At least playoff games, if not championships. I played with you in a couple of different leagues. Those that might not know, pardon my coughing fit here, Bob is also an avid Spanish speaker. If you don't mind me telling this story, Bob.
I'm fluent.
Yeah, at least that's the perception of one Spanish teacher that you had in some college class.
Right.
Bob, was this like a continuing ed for a work thing, or what were you doing?
I went back to college when I was 40 years old, and
God bless you, Bob. Good job.
Yep. And there was a Spanish 3 class I had to take, and I was pretty rusty with my Spanish. So I'll let you kind of take over from there.
Yeah. So I get a phone call from Bob, who I've been playing fantasy sports with, who's a good friend of my dad's. It's like, he's been in and out of my life since probably I was a kid, Bob, right?
Yeah. You were like, I met you, you were 10, maybe.
Right. So it's like almost an uncle at this point.
Almost.
And Bob gives me a call, I think out of the blue. Maybe my dad gave me a heads up that you might be calling me. And you said, Mike, I need some help. I'm in a Spanish class and I have this final that I have to say a message in. Like you have to, almost like you're standing at a podium, you have to deliver a message in Spanish.
Right.
And I didn't know if you were going to be in Columbus or you drove down for that reason only, but you came to Columbus so that we can make this happen, Bob.
Mm-hmm.
And I sat down with you at my dinner table in my second apartment in Columbus.
Mm-hmm.
My wife and her sister were in the other room because they couldn't stop chuckling at us.
They're laughing. I could hear them through the door laughing.
Bob's nervous as hell. And you have, what was it, like 3 minutes you had to talk?
Yeah. I had to give a speech and tell a story about the year and, in Spanish.
And Bob's like rigid as a board, right? And he's just sitting there and he's like, hola, me llamo Bob. And I'm like, Bob, no, man, you got to calm the hell down. So I went into my fridge. I had one beer left. That's back in the old days when beers were vital and important. And I was like, Bob, you need to drink this right now. We had written out a script. I was like, drink this beer, Bob, because everybody speaks their second language better when they're drinking. And what happened, Bob?
Oh my gosh. It's like I felt like I was fluent. Like all of a sudden that beer relaxed me. And Mike, what's funny is I still have that video on my computer.
No way.
Yeah. So someday I'm going to have to download it and show it to you. But I have that day of you and I I have the practice ones where they broke up a little bit. And then I have the final one. It must be on some kind of garage band or something, because I found it maybe 5-6 years ago on this computer. So, but yeah, to make a long story short, you're right. A little bit of alcohol in my system. and the Spanish was flowing,
Mhm.
and I'm getting an A on my final.
That's
Thanks to Mike.
well, I mean, no, it was all you doing the work, but that's got to be one of my top 5 stories of all time. I love that story.
Yeah, very classic. And, I was slightly inebriated, but it helped me with getting the grade that day.
Yeah. You had that nervous / I just drank a beer in 10 seconds buzz, and it was what pushed you through that video. I'm really proud of you, Bob.
Thanks, Mike. And that's something we'll always get to talk about, you helping me through my Spanish final.
Definitely. All right. I love it.
Right.
Good deal. I'm glad we got a chance to get that off. It was on my bingo card of things I had to talk about today while we had you on the podcast. Typically what we do at this point is start to jump in to some of the breakdowns. And now it's weird because we've got one man missing from this trio here, and his game is the one that is finalized. But Bob, what the hell? Let's start with yours, man. You came into the week at 2-5, facing off against the Empire, who word is that she's going up to the podium right now as we speak. So we're going to jump into her post-game presser here in a minute, but you're 100% favorite to win this game, 61-39. Your kicker is at the half with 10 points. My goodness, man. Everything's going Kirby Kings. The turn is happening.
Kirby Kings, wonderful week right now.
Yeah. How are you feeling about your team?
Well, listen, after watching the video last week with your dad and all the trash talk, I had a closed door team meeting with the team, and I said, guys, this can't happen. This isn't how we have Kirby Kings culture, and things have to change. I talked to Josh Allen, by myself there for a little bit, and we turned it around this week. Everybody pitched in. I mean, when you get your kicker with 10 points, you know that you're having a good week.
And he's at half, Bob. He's not even done yet.
I know. It's unbelievable.
Bob, now, not only are you at 61 points, your kicker's with 10 at halftime, but you and your sorry decision-making process left DeAndre Hopkins on the bench when he had 4 catches for 128 yards and 3 touchdowns with 24 points, Bob. What the hell?
Mike, I was hoping you wouldn't bring that up tonight, and I could have went to the excuse where I had him in there and it didn't save. I thought about maybe saying that, but since I don't lie, I did it as an excuse. I know I was sitting on the couch on Sunday, and I said, oh my God, Hopkins scored. I know I got no, he's so as he continued to rack up 128 yards and 3 touchdowns, I said to myself, especially after I saw Kareem Hunt score in that dreaded Browns loss that happened, I said, well, if Hopkins is going to cost me a win this week, I'm going to lose to the Empire, and that wouldn't have been a good day, or a good week. So it all out, leaving 24 points in the bench usually would sting, but so far it looks like it's not going to be a factor.
I mean, it's definitely going to be a negative that's written down in your post-game analysis. I'm sure that when you're reviewing film, probably tomorrow, that will be topic number 1. But it's always great, Bob, to learn lessons in wins rather than defeats. I mean, you're moving to, what do we got? 3-5. You're not quite 500, but Bob, you're no longer out of it at this point. You've got hope. I
told Randy in so many words, some words I can't repeat during this broadcast, but I did tell your dad I could reel off 8 wins easily. The Kings can reel off 8 wins, and we can change everything fast. So I'm not, it can happen. Bob, it takes 8 wins to get into the playoffs. That's it. You've got 3. That's 5 left. That's it. My goodness. Now, as I like to say, there's a flip side to that coin, Bob. The Empire are going to move to 1-7. And normally when we have a guest over to the house, we try and make sure we roll out the red carpet for that guest, right? We want to serve a meal maybe that they've liked in the past. We've done some digging. We've talked to their friends. What are the drinks that they enjoy, the foods that they enjoy? We make sure that we have at least some of that stuff available to them. But for Kara and the Empire this year, man, we just really slammed that door right in her face and said, you know what? Your reservation was for yesterday. This just don't work. I mean, she's having a hell of a first year. She's going up to the post-game press conference podium right now. Let's see what she has to say. Give me just a minute here. Yeah, okay.
Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Karen. For those who don't know me, I'm new in the league. I took over Dan's team. Yeah, the team that's 1-6 currently. Tomorrow I'll be 1-7, but we got to go with the flow. Anyway, so regardless of my record, I'm actually having a really good time in this league. It's definitely an adjustment based on what I'm used to playing on. Not doing as good as I wanted to, I guess, but you got to start at the bottom, I guess, and work your way up, right? So I am a Steelers fan. I mean, I guess you guys can tell by who I picked up, but let's all agree that, Matt Canada needs fired, right? My team's struggling. I don't really know what other appropriate words I can use for that because, it's annoying. I'm not going to lie, but it's fun. It's a good time. It's hit or miss in this league, and I'm learning that. It's luck of the draw, if you will. One guy will score 14 points on the bench for you. You put them in the following week thinking they're going to do good. It's either like 2 points, -1, whatever. I don't think a lot of I could probably name maybe 3 that probably scored, I don't know, over 10 points that I started. So, we just got to go with the flow, right? At this point, it's kind of humorous to me. I know a lot of you guys take it very serious. I mean, I am too, but I mean, what am I supposed to do at 1-7? I mean, come on now. Got to have fun with it regardless, right? But, I mean, no matter who I put in, it's always the opposite. Or I can be up by the end of the week, my Sunday night. I'm like, oh, sweet. I'm up by 14. Last week, I think that happened. I'm up by 14. He had McCaffrey, and I forget the kicker's name. One of the kickers, too. I'll bet you not. He did score 15 points, and here I was. I was like, well, you know what? You win some, you win none. It is what it is. But overall, I am really having a good time. I know I don't know a lot of you yet, and I hope I get to know most of you. I've heard a lot of good things from you guys. It's a good time, but who knows? Maybe I'll if I win out the rest of the season. Who knows? Who knows what can happen? So next week, look out, Mike. It's on. Good luck next week to everybody. Thank you, Mike, for having me on as a guest.
Oh, shots fired. My goodness. We learned so many nuggets in that little soundbite there. First of all, I learned that Dan, he wasn't lying. He didn't just have a shitty year and blame it on some random person that nobody knows. So I guess maybe he found Kara off the street and he just had to record this thing. So maybe that's true. But 3 or 2 or wherever we're at, it sounds like she's back next year. Drew, you're back. What do you think of that soundbite? We get to meet Kara. What she doesn't have hope, but she's making the most out of it, right?
I caught the end of that. It sounds like she's playing fantasy football. I like it. That's kind of how it goes, right? You think, man, I'm going to win this week, and then you don't. And that's kind of how it goes. It's up and down. You never know. So it's I'm guessing not her first league, so she knows how it rolls. And with the league scoring too, you have to get used to it because it's not a standard scoring or a PPR league or anything like that. It's a little different. So it takes a few years to get used to it. I
agree 100%. Go ahead, Bob. What do you got?
I did hear a lot of optimism, when she was talking about her team and, just looking over the roster. I didn't have that same feeling, but, I think all of us get into a rut sometimes. And she's right. Teams can go on winning streaks, although that winning streak would have to start next week, Mike, with her game with you. And I did hear her say that, she thinks it's the streak's going to start next week.
It's got to start somewhere, Bob. That's for damn sure. I mean, it's interesting that she's taking shots at the top point scorer in the league so far to this point. I know that she doesn't have as many wins as I do, but I tell you what, man, I'm looking at her roster. I've got a little bit more hope and optimism for her than you do, Bob, because she's got guys like Stephon Diggs, who is a mainstay in that Buffalo offense when they get their head out of their ass. Kareem Hunt is now, the Browns running back at this point, or at least half of that, scoring touchdowns. Jalen Waddle looks like he might be unleashed. David Njoku, I watched a little bit of that Browns game. He can't be stopped. I mean, she put up 40 points. That's not nothing, Drew, right?
Yeah, it's not nothing. Bob Stradamus started with the that she has hope for the future. Well, I heard a lot of hope starting next week. She sounded like she's gonna bring it next week. So yeah, I mean, we'll see how it goes. It's a rough year so far, but the toilet bowl it lies ahead, and you're never out of it until you are.
And the toilet bowl needs a champion too, Drew. The toilet bowl needs a champion.
Mike would know.
Mike, do you have a little bit of uneasiness about next? I just, I watched you, as we were going through the roster. I mean, do you have a little bit of uneasiness about next week?
What I need to do, I need to go through her roster and check bye weeks, Bob. Let me go through, because the thing of it is I'm looking at her bench and I'm not seeing a lot there. Yeah, she's got Michael Pittman that scored a touchdown, but how often is that really happening? And then what? What's left? There's not much left. Kenny Pickett's going to be out for a while, so she looks like she's leaning on Mac Jones.
Pittman scored in each of his last 2 games.
Yeah, that's
so
two more.
And they're playing
games.
Carolina. They're playing Carolina.
Who shut out?
You
who
better
did Carolina
bet your
shut
ass that Michael Pittman's going to be in that lineup. Although their quarterback situation just got worse, didn't it? Isn't what's his name down for a few?
Gardner Minshew is. I think he's still good to go.
Is he good? So many quarterbacks injured, I can't keep it up.
Yeah, Gardner Minshew, not one of them, as far as
he's not one of them.
As I know.
If he's got Minshew, that's probably an upgrade over Richardson, as we've seen, because now he's scoring touchdowns.
Yeah.
So I think you just pencil him in for 8 next week.
I don't know about that. I think Carolina is playing a lot better defense than people might give them credit for. I can't remember who they
secondary is not.
That's fair. All right. You know what, guys? Hey, yes, a little. Always. This is the CFL.
Jalen Waddle, David Njoku got a touchdown this week. First one of the season. Kareem Hunt. You throw a quarterback and a kicker in there. I think that sounds like Mike's getting an ass whooping next week.
Stephon Diggs could have a big breakout game. In fact, Nostradamus kind of senses that a big game for Stephon Diggs.
Was that Nostradamus? Was that backwards on that, or can we go both ways? Do we switch hit?
Bob Stranosis?
Nostradamus?
Here goes
Nostradamus.
In a live look into Monday Night Football, pick 6 via Jared Goff to the Raiders' favor. Score is look like it's going to 16-14. All those who have the eliminator selecting Detroit, heads up for you, friends. Heads up for you, Drew. I think that includes you, sir. Speaking of those concerns,
it's me and Bob over there.
Yep,
sweating this one out.
So I'll leave my sweating for next week while you two sweat currently. Drew, I wanted to get to game number 2 here, is the one that is finalized. It's yours, sir. You take that W against your long-time foe, the Bushwhackers. You're moving to 6-2, and he's moving to 2-6. How are you feeling after your narrow victory over the Bushwhackers?
Yeah, that was a close one. Gabe Davis put up 10 on Thursday, and I'm like, yeah, it's. I might as well just bench my guys, get them some rest, and then we'll come back next week and come off the bye week and try to make it happen. But AJ Brown absolutely crushed it. Breece Hall into the end zone again. Travis Kelce down week. He took a bye this week. He knew I didn't need it, so he rested up. I like that.
Well, his wife wasn't there, I don't think.
Oh, okay. His future ex-wife.
Yeah, right.
And then can we play taps for Jordan Addison?
Mm-hmm. I think we can.
Season's over for Jordan Addison.
I know you've been busy in the last hour and a half, 2 hours. You might not have heard the news yet. Bob, have you heard the news of who might be coming to quarterback the Vikings?
No, I have not heard yet.
Any guesses, gents?
Tom Brady.
No, not Tom Brady. It might even be better
Manning.
for Jordan Addison than Tom Brady.
Joe Namath. I don't know who we got.
not Joe
Paul
Namath.
Pepper. I don't know who we got.
He's going to eat some W's. Famous Jameis Winston is coming to throw picks and touchdowns for the Vikings.
No.
Gosh.
No. Yeah.
He's gonna chuck it up, man.
Jordan is going to my bench, and that's where he's going to stay.
He couldn't keep the job in Tampa. I mean, he couldn't even get in the games down here.
No, hell, he lost out to Taysom Hill for a couple games, didn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, when you're tight, when they're like, should we go with the guy who's played quarterback at Florida State, the Buccaneers, throwing some picks. Should we go with him or should we go with the tight end? Let's go with the tight end. Yeah, let's put the tight end to throw some balls around, see what happens. Jordan Addison, love you, man. Thank you. Great season, great half a season. Thank you. Rest up. Hopefully you're on my roster next year. Hopefully we can make it happen again. Maybe he'll do bad enough where he'll drop down the draft boards next year, and I can get him about where I got him this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that might be an option. I know you were back and forth about that fourth roster spot for yourself, and as you're talking about dropping Jordan Addison down into your bench for next week, Drew, I don't know who you're calling up to fill that spot. Who you calling up to fill that spot? Because we got Kendrick Bourne out with an ACL tear. Romeo, he caught four passes for 18 yards, one of them for a touchdown.
That's pretty much his stat line, is about 20 yards and a touchdown, or 2, or none, and then you're really screwed. Josh Downs, matchup dependent, I think there. Indy, Gardner Minshew, if he's going to throw for 300, Josh is going to get he had 7 for 72. I'll take that. I'm okay with that. And then we need Tank Dell to come back around. He had 3 carries for 15 yards. Remember a few weeks ago we were talking about the run game kind of being in question? Yeah. Well, Tank Dell got 3 carries.
Right. And that was a team that Carolina shut out, was Houston, who had been just throwing the ball all over the place.
Yeah, rookie quarterback, though, I don't chalk that up to Carolina defense coming back. I chalk that up to rookie quarterback. It's still his first year. If you think he's going to go out and throw 50 touch, it ain't going to happen. Ain't going to happen.
Drew, I do got to give you some props. I mean, to be 6-2 with Jordan Love and Derek Carr as your QBs, that proves in this league, QBs are not the thing. They're not going to carry you. So great.
Not this year. This year is weird because I'm looking around. I'm trying to figure out. I'm freaking out. I need a quarterback. Who am I going to trade for? And there's if you don't have Justin Herbert, Josh Allen, or Patrick Mahomes every other week, you don't have a quarterback. The quarterback play is so sporadic.
Don't you dare forget to mention Lamar Jackson, sir.
I did. What did he score this week? More than Jordan Love?
We'll get to that game. We'll get to that game.
Exactly my point. There's no quarterback out there where you're like, man, this guy's consistent week in and week out. Jalen Hurts had a good week this week for the Bushwhackers, and actually he's another one. Throw him up. He's over double digits every week minus week 1. So, yeah, Jalen Hurts. I don't have Jalen Hurts. Bushwhackers does. And I doubt he's going to trade him because on his bench is, Kirky Cousins. So, exactly, that's my point. This year for quarterback has been rough. So, it is. I had Anthony Richardson, who helped me win probably 2 games this year because he played 1 quarter and scored me 14 points, but he's down 2. So,
if I were to say that Patrick Mahomes would only have 2 points this week, would anybody even believe that?
No,
that is nuts. Yeah, I know his stat lines have been just ridiculous, Bob.
And look at him too. He's been up and down. He's coming off 24 last week. Goes down to 2, and then I guess next week buckle your seatbelt, whoever's playing Tsunami, because he might go back up to 24.
Yeah, he had the flu as well, or some kind of sickness.
Yeah, heard that.
But Bob, we're not spending much time on the Bushwhackers. I look at his roster and I cannot believe this dude has only won 2 games. Do you agree with me, or am I off base?
Yeah, I was kind of surprised when you see Jalen Hurts, Cooper Kupp. You're thinking to yourself, this is a high scoring team, but yeah, it just doesn't make sense. That's the luck of the draw. Sometimes you can have a great team, but you'll play somebody that has a better week.
Yeah, Jamal Williams plays a little kind of weird. I get Bijan Robinson hasn't been in the end zone recently, but he did this week. That would have done it. And then Zach Moss. He hasn't really stopped, even with Taylor back. He has 2 touchdowns in the last 3 games. That's since Taylor came back. He has 2 touchdowns. So I don't know why he's that hesitant to play Zach Moss. So and he would have won with either one of those guys over Jamal Williams. I don't understand the Jamal Williams play.
I don't understand the Jamal Williams play either, especially with Kamara coming back and just being seemingly all over the field for the Saints.
Yeah.
But the dude does have Hurts, who did throw 4 touchdown passes. He got stopped. What did he do? He fumbled on a tush push. I know that he ran a tush push from the 1 yard line. It was like the first time it didn't work because allegedly, Drew, we had decent money riding on Jalen Hurts to get that ball into the end zone. He did not convert, but he did convert 4 touchdowns through the air. I mean, that dude is liable to blow up anytime. He's got Gabe Davis, who's been scoring touchdowns like crazy. Cooper Kupp is up and down, up and down.
Hammy, he's still nursing that thing. So,
yeah.
Which that was a down week for the Rams anyway. That Dallas defense plays like Mahomes every other week.
He scores 52 points though, and that's nothing to sneeze at. I feel like he does that every week. He just goes up against somebody that scores more than he does.
Yeah. Yep. No, I definitely. I'd like to say I destroyed him, but I watched Jake Ferguson on that. It was like third play of the game. Dallas touched. It was like a 30-yard touchdown. He one hand in the back of the end zone. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna lose. I'm so screwed. He's gonna catch 5 touchdowns. I was so negative about the whole week, and then came down to it. I just ended up edging it out. So just chipping away.
I waited to do this until now because I wanted you to be here. But gentlemen, I'm doing this the first time ever in the history of the show. I'm giving out 2 Coach of the Week awards, and they're going to both of you guys.
All right.
Bob, you're moving to 3-5, and you're saving your season from despair at this point, right? You put up 61 points and counting on the Empire, a game that was my must-watch game of the week. I thought, the battle, it was like loser leaves town, as some famous podcaster likes to say. And you came into that ring, you duked it out, and you beat the Empire's ass. You're moving forward with the win. You're getting closer to 500. Congrats. You're half of my Coach of the Week. And then, Drew, dude, you just keep winning games, man. 6-2. I mean, this is just nuts at this point. Is fantasy football this easy all the time for you?
No. Really, the Jordan Addison, as we're looking at the bench here, Kendrick Bourne now, I just picked him off wire. I'm like, finally, this guy's coming around. Mac Jones slinging it. I was feeling good, but the quarterback play and now Jordan Addison being pretty much probably unstartable the rest of the season, that really hurts because I was afraid when Justin Jefferson went down, his production might not be great. You rely on that number 1 to get all the attention, and then you beat up on their second and third. But that wasn't the case. He's just balling out there. He doesn't need JJ out there to crush it, but he does need a quarterback, which doesn't look like he's going to have. So I'm really salty about that. That hurts bad because he has, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 touchdowns in 8 weeks for me this year. And I pretty much I had him in the lineup as like a year in every week now. Right. And, of course, doesn't work out. But A.J. Brown, if A.J. Brown can just keep putting up 125 plus and 2 touchdowns every week, I feel like I have a chance.
You got a shot. Yeah.
Got a shot.
And you've got 6 wins already. We were talking about that with Bob earlier. You need 8 to get to the playoffs. You need to find 2 more wins. It's not that hard to do.
No, that's real easy. And then, and then once you're in the playoffs, you can just flop, right?
Hey, or get lucky one week, have somebody blow up. That's all it takes.
Yeah, it does. With Kelsey, you never know. He put up 4 on you last year. I remember that. You thought you had a game in the bag, and all they had was Kelsey to play. You were up like 22.
I think I was up like 30 points, and he scored like 30 points.
He had 4 touchdowns against with the Raiders, I think.
Yeah,
because I remember watching that game. I was texting you. I'm like, how many points is he going to get tonight? And you're like, all of them. He sure did. He crushed it.
Let's move forward. There's one, man, I'm tied right now, 54-54. We've got Sammy LaPorta with a 1.25 to get 1 more point here. Please, Samuel. But let's bypass that for the moment and go over to the Players Club, who are facing off against the 69ers, who are just on I tell you what, they're going to be my oh shit, life comes at you fast award recipients one more time, because 33 points, they're done. Players Club, 47 points, and they're continuing to go. Drew, that Josh Jacobs alleged bet for a touchdown did cash in, by the way. I don't know if you knew that. As he continues to score points, 47-33. Bob, I want to know what you see in the Players Club. Is this a force to be reckoned with for those of us who are searching for that playoff bid?
Yeah. So, when I saw Eckler on this team, I thought to myself, guaranteed points every week. But, Eckler's been off and on. So you don't know what you're going to get from Austin. And that's the tricky thing when you roster him each week. And then you see Jonathan Taylor. He's starting to catch some steam. I know against the Browns and last week, you could see he's starting to gain that momentum. So, you know what, when you have two really good running backs and you can pull off some points with your quarterback, yeah, 3. I know there's a lot there. This team could be trouble. This could be a team that surprises and sneaks up on some people.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I mean, Josh Jacobs, Austin Eckler, Jonathan Taylor, this is dangerous. Drew, we need to find a way to keep this guy out of the playoffs.
I don't know if you can. Because we're midway, and Jacobs has been okay. Eckler's been hurt. Once he gets back to full health, and Taylor, they're still splitting carries with Zach Moss right now, which is interesting. I would imagine that to start to push towards Taylor because they did pay him. So they're going to want to, he still has the preseason legs. He's only played 3 games, So
right.
Week 4, Week 5, Week 6 is where you expect him to turn it on. And depending on schedule with Taylor, he's got Carolina, wonderful. New England, not awful. Bye week. Week 12's Tampa Bay, Tennessee, Cincinnati. Yeah, you expect him coming out of that bye. He's going to be getting those 20 carries a game and be that bell cow again. Especially if Indy's even close to winning that AFC South position. So that could be really interesting because Taylor might be a guy that the club can just cash in every week and just call it a win.
I think also the club sent out the memo the wrong week. Last week was National Tight Ends Week. Thank you. And I think he sent the memo out 1 week late because we've got George Kittle with 149 yards, 7 points. On his bench, friends, he's got Donald Parham, who got a touchdown, 8 points. Dalton Kincaid, who just seems like he's the dude in Buffalo now. That guy needs to find his way into the lineup. 9 points on the bench. His tight ends are just blowing it up in a league where we can't find tight end production.
I got tight end envy, especially with how I was ridiculed last week for not having an active tight end, which
what the hell, Bob?
To this day, it still bothers me I couldn't pick up anybody after Thursday, but
them's the rule.
This might be a team that I need to talk to pick up one of these tight ends because he's got a lot of tightness on his tight ends.
They did not miss leg day. But, Bob, if you strike out with the Players Club, look over at the 69ers, man, because we got Dallas Goedert, we got Zach Ertz, who's hurt, so I'll forget I said that. We got TJ Hawkinson and Hunter Henry. Like, you might be able to find somebody over there as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I noticed that. Although not a lot of touchdown passes, Minnesota. Oh, sorry, Drew. I didn't mean to bring up the.
Oh, yeah.
It is. It's okay, though.
Sorry.
Bob.
8 tight ends between 2 teams.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
8.
There they
2
all
teams,
are, guys. We found them.
8 tight ends.
We found them. They're all there. Bob, is Russell Wilson back with the Denver Broncos?
No, he's not.
Okay.
No, a great comeback there, but watching Russell this year, I can't see the consistency that's going to be there. So if I'm the 69ers and I've got Russell Wilson and Geno Smith, I might want to trade a couple tight ends in a package to try to score a QB.
To Bob Kirby, maybe?
Possibly. If Freiermuth was still out, so I'm digging the bottom of the tight end bin. So I need some help.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We're making. Look at Drew. We're making matches on live air here. This is just amazing. I'm looking at the 69ers, man. They're my oh shit, life comes at you fast. I think they were 4-0. Drew, were they 4-0?
Times 2.
Oh, times 2.
Times 2. I'm calling it 2. That's
so they go from 4-0 to Drew. They're 4-4.
Yeah.
Not great.
Mm-mm.
That's a bad stretch.
They're not 4-0. That's a rare thing in fantasy football. I've only known a handful of people in all my years that start off 4-0, and to have that many losses that fast, that's numbing.
It's much easier to start off 0-4 than it is 4-0.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and Drew, we covered while you were away. Bob's been playing fantasy football since when we were in the single digits a little while ago. I know you're older than I am, so
Yeah, I got a lot of days on you.
You do have a lot of days on me.
Yeah.
Bob, do you see hope in the future for the 69ers? Can he turn this thing around, or is it like just fire sale, try to sell everything for the toilet bowl and go for that?
So having after tonight 3 wins myself, I'm never going to diss a team that's got more wins than me. It's not in my makeup, but
that's a good point.
I'm I hope there's hope for the 69ers. Hopefully they can get into a different position. Oh, I didn't mean to say that. Sorry.
Freudian slip. It happens.
I didn't mean
Yeah.
Why would they want to do that, Bob?
They have a better chance to get in the missionary if they drop Nick Chubb finally, and maybe Zach Ertz, because you don't need all these tight ends.
Well, when the 69ers lost Chubb.
Yeah. When you lose the Chubb,
How do they?
For the 69ers,
This is great. Where's Bob been all year? Where's he been all year? I tell you what, you don't get to the CEO of PetSmart without this wit. This is just great to see.
When you lose your Chubb for the 69ers, you just got a face full of Ertz. And there's nothing you can do with that.
No.
Hot damn.
Yeah.
There's hope. But like this candle is burning down. Bob, what are you saying?
No, I'm just saying it got really warm in the house. I got to turn the air off.
Oh god,
I tell you what, the 69ers are not going to be invited to the Players Club for the after party to the mansion. I haven't seen guys. One thing I'm kind of disappointed in is I thought this would be the year for the message board to get back in full swing, led mostly by Jason Nelson. Jason, I know you love to come onto this podcast and talk about your glorious victories and talk about all the other things that are happening at the Players Club mansion after these wins have been achieved. Where the hell are you on the message board, man? I'm calling you out. It starts with you. Let's step it up.
I did mention the mansion a few weeks ago, and I meant to bring that to light, that we did get a mansion reference. I don't remember one last year. So he's warming up. A win, maybe we can get him back on there.
Somebody send him a bottle of Tito's, all right, and get this dude typing. Like,
we need some Tito's and a win. That's all we need. He's got the win. We just need the Tito's. We're good to go.
All right, I'll get my USPS retirees and current employees on it.
I like it.
We're moving forward to Bob. Do you know about the show curse? And I'm sorry I didn't tell you about this in advance.
Oh, your dad warned me of the show curse. I'm not going to let that deter me from getting on with you fellas tonight. So I'm in.
Thank you.
That's fake. That's fake news from the replacements. Do not buy that bullshine. It's trash. Don't buy into that. You're going to do great next week, Bob. I have faith.
Yeah. Right. I have faith as well. Well, the show curse took another victim this week in my poor father, who did put up 45 points, which is respectable. It's not nothing. It's not the 50 that you need to get to, most of the time secure victory. But he went up against the replacements, who I said last week are cutting through this league like a warm knife through butter. They're continuing to do that. Logan is he's a man on a mission this year. He cannot be stopped. He's stepping up to the podium as we speak right now. Gents, excuse me 1 minute. Let's cut in live listen to what he has to say.
Good evening, gents. It's your old buddy, the replacements here. Just calling to check in. I heard that the opponent that I defeated this week, Mr. Tsunami.
Oops. Stand by.
Lost call.
The all-time earnings leader in the CFFL, which is quite an accomplishment on his part. And I do not take it lightly that I beat him in my first attempt in my first season in this league. So I would like to applaud his career. I would not like to applaud his effort this week because it wasn't quite good enough. Funny story, Mr. Tsunami has been trying to, sent one trade proposal for me to maybe get a QB. In retrospect, I'm wondering if he should have been trying to acquire a QB from me, namely Mr. Sam Howell. Shout out Sam Howell. Shout out the Commanders. Clearly the most potent offense in the NFL at this moment. The 49ers are on bye next week, so I'll probably take a week off before I call back in. But just wanted to say the replacements are riding high, at least for another week. Good game, Pops. You'll get them next time, maybe. Congrats on your earnings over the 20 years. Catch y'all later. Sorry this was a long voicemail, but, I had a lot to say. Be good. We'll talk soon.
Man, he always delivers. Show Curse is alive and well. He's throwing shots. It's like he's been here for 10 years himself. The replacement's probably going to be earning some coin here this year. Ray Charles, what do you think about their chances going forward, Bob?
Yeah, so I had to put my glasses on because it was like a bright light, all the trash talk that Randy, said about my team and my tight end situation, which I'm not used to another dude talking about my tight end so much. But hey, what really threw me off is that I think your dad brought a little bad karma on himself with all the trash talk. And when I see 45 points roll up and the league's averaging 50 this week, something's not right. And I look at this team, and I'm telling you guys, something's not right. And I really can't see the screen with these glasses on.
It doesn't look any better with them off. Not this week.
Yeah. Drew, talk to us about the tsunami. I mean, are we going to be able to ebb the flow of this wave, or is this going to be a couple-week trend? What's going on here?
No, it's just one of those weeks where you have a decent week. Your quarterback just your future Hall of Fame quarterback just lays an egg. He lays an egg. Coming off a 23-point game, he puts up 2. And really, that would have put in the replacements. Sam Howell and Christian McCaffrey just said, "Get on, bitches, we're riding," and they did. That was incredible from Sam Howell. 397 yards and 4 touchdowns. In a losing effort to Philly, but nonetheless for fantasy, that's excellent. But the tsunami, they're still not out of it. They're not out of it. They're gonna be what, 4-4, right? Yeah,
4-4.
4-4. Nah, halfway through the season, 4-4. That's okay. It'll be all right. The bench doesn't look real deep, but so bye weeks are gonna hit everybody. Speaking of bye weeks, just a quick. We bring fact to the show. That's what we do. We don't like to, skirt the issue. And I'm screwing myself by saying this, but Christian McCaffrey's on bye next week.
Mm-hmm.
And I got Logan.
Ooh.
So,
I was wondering who he had.
Yeah. He has McCaffrey on bye. So finally, if anybody's going to bring down the oh my God, he just scored again. He's at 75.
I know.
Jahmyr Gibbs, touchdown.
I was going to have breaking news here in just a moment, but Logan is up to 75 points. This is legitimate 77 territory. He's got 115 yards rushing, 34 yards receiving. There are 2 points that are not that far away from Mr. Jahmyr Gibbs, who already has 23 touches on the evening.
15 yards.
Gentlemen, I think we're hoping for 78 or more at this point.
25 yards. 25 yards.
This is danger close, guys.
And he's got receptions. So then he needs 5 rushing yards and 6 receiving yards, and that's 2 points.
I think Logan would take like a rolled ankle after that to just stop the flow.
I really hope he gets 78.
Oh man, this is dangerous.
This is very dangerous. I don't like
Bob,
this.
The replacements are moving to 6 and 2. Is there anybody that can beat the replacements at this point, or are we all hopeless?
So when, one of the first shows, there was a lot of hype about the replacements. And I didn't see it. And I thought, what are these guys saying? But as each week progresses and I see just the massive amount of points this entire team, even his bench outscores some teams, and when you see Sam Howell put up record numbers like that, this could be just a total roll over the league right now with the replacements, which I don't really say that very often, but I'm starting to drink Kool-Aid.
I know. I mean, I was the one that was pounding that gavel early on, telling people, hey, watch out. This dude's scoring points. They're just going crazy. 75 points this week. I think I haven't looked yet, but he's probably scored more points for the year so far than I have. We'll just go ahead and stay away from that update maybe this week. It's just,
Listen to this bench. On the bench this week. And he has 75 points right now. He has Devin A-Chain out maybe next week, could be back the following. And remember what he was doing when he was playing.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely crushing it. Calvin Ridley on the bench, 6 catches, 83 yards. Didn't get in the end zone. Still, that's Calvin Ridley. Chris Olave, 5 catches, 46. He's down a little bit. You expect at the end of the season he could be back to Chris Olave, and he could be crushing it. Jahan Dotson, 8 catches, 108, and a touchdown this week. Rashee Rice is about the only pass catcher not named Travis Kelce for Kansas City. That's on his bench. And then his backup tight end is Evan Ingram, 10 catches, 88 yards. That's his bench. His bench just outscored like three teams this week. So yeah, this is gonna hurt.
You know, the Empire are looking at
hurt.
that bench, Drew. They're listening. Kara's listening to you read those names off, and she's just like, "Son of a bitch, that could have been my season." You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep. If you would have just taken the replacement's bench, you might be in a better situation than you are now.
Mm.
So this could get ugly. Minus Devin Achane, the injury bug is just not really Fields. Well, when Howell puts up 21, I don't want to hear about it. I told him in the week 0 episode, Fields, just drop him, get rid of him. You don't need him this year. I told him, but he's hanging on. So I'm guessing I know who the Tsunami was trying to field that all Buckeye team.
You know he
would. At 4-4, you got to start thinking fielding a winning team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Can I kind of add on to that a little bit?
Please, Robert.
You have an extremely bad habit of getting all bucked up. And, if there's a player out there that's wore the scarlet gray, he wants them. And I think that could be a weakness for him going forward. I really do. I hate to say broadcast, but he needs to start thinking about scoring points, not just the Buckeyes.
You know, sometimes you can tell your friends a message over and over again in private, right, in a closed door situation. But when they don't receive that message, sometimes they need to hear it in just a different forum. And maybe this will be the impetus that he needs to maybe look at that for what it is, you know?
I agree, Mike. It's somebody's got to give him a message, and maybe tonight will be that rope that he needs to latch onto and pull himself out of it.
Yeah, and good on you for looking out for, the greater good and a friend of yours. I mean, that's just admirable. That's commendable.
It took a long time, Mike, to finally talk about it, but somebody had.
To be honest, I haven't played him yet, so if he could keep working diligently at fielding that all Buckeye team, I really would like to see who he's rolling out at tight end. Like Nick Van Etten. I mean, who you got? There's nothing really there. And then kicker, please. I think what week is it 12 or 13? I have them. Week 11. Week 11. If you could find your Buckeye kicker by week 11 and your tight end, and get Fields, please get him in the lineup.
I don't think
Logan, trade him now, please.
I don't think Nugent is playing anymore though.
Nugent is. Can you start him? He's not on a team, is he? Maybe the Bengals could bring him back for like honorary retirement ceremony for that week, so we could make this happen. I'll call my people. Or if you could call your 12 attorneys and agents, Mike, that'd be great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll definitely do that. We didn't have the audio visual capabilities. Jameer Gibbs is scoring more points, by the way. We didn't have the audio. Geez, he's up to 76. Guys, this is dangerous.
You got the rushing, 126. So
bear with me. We don't have the audio visual capabilities. Key emphasis on the visual. I do have the transcript from my father, Tsunami Pops, his post-game presser. Admittedly, I don't understand it, but I'm going to read it. Jameer Gibbs is carrying the ball one more time. And Bob, maybe you can help us make sense of what this transcript says. Okay. Excuse me. And I quote, okay, for you, the younger audience here, they're not going to get this, but it's a tough life we live in fantasy football. When you get beat by Thurston Howell, the third, not once, but twice, 21 points from Thurston Howell to 2 points from Patrick Mahomes. Unreal. So the curse is legit. So, Bob, he is a believer in the show curse at this point.
Yeah, so Thurston Howell, I mean, I think that's a Gilligan's Island reference.
It is. Yes, he did tell me that much. I don't know anything more than that.
I don't think you want to, Mike. Yeah.
He lost trying to field an all Buckeye team, and now he has his excuses for why it happened. It's all right. He's got a team. He'll be back next week. It'll be all right. Hopefully with more Buckeyes on it.
He does have a team. All right. Speaking of teams, guys, in the in-law bowl, we've got the Golden Taints facing off against the Coyotes. Angelo is moving, gentlemen. I'm saying Angelo is moving to 4-4. He's back to 500. He is in that playoff hunt, while the Golden Taints are moving to also the 4-4 in the playoff hunt as well. 38 points for the Taints, 51 points for the Coyotes. Gus Edwards scored 3 touchdowns in the lineup. Didn't have much else than Brandon McManus, who got 14 himself. Drew, is this like a shot in the pan kind of a deal, or is this sustained success that we should expect to see from Angelo going forward?
Yeah, I mean, the Brock Purdy play, that was crazy. He played Tyrod Taylor. Who did he puncture a lung again? He ended up in the hospital with a broken rib. I'm guessing it's sticking in his lung.
Yeah, it's ribs so far. I don't know if it will extend to a lung. It's definitely possible.
Okay,
we've seen it happen before.
I heard he went to the hospital with a rib injury, which I just figured once you puncture that lung, why not do it again? I got Devonta Smith on the bench. You know,
ribs are close to lungs, Drew. Ribs are close to lungs.
They're around there. Yeah.
I didn't even know Tyrod Taylor was still in the NFL until I saw him in this lineup. So that's a shame, of course, but Tyrod Taylor, you know, I didn't know.
13 years in the NFL.
Wow.
13th season. So not a lot of miles on those tires, though. So you got to figure, you know, if we're talking about like running backs, he's pretty fresh. You know, nobody else wanted to play him. Giants, of course, do. Yeah. So, I mean, Derrick Henry, Aaron Jones is it's awful to watch. That whole Packers offense is gross.
It's bad.
And Garrett Wilson, 7 catches, 100 yards, just didn't get in the end zone. And like I said, he's got Devonta Smith on the bench. So, yeah, I mean, it's not awful. He could find his way into the playoffs. You know, 4-4. He's almost there. 4 more wins. 4 more wins could get him there. So,
definitely can. You know. Sorry, guys, I'm distracted. I'm not going to lie to you. I am distracted because Sam LaPorta just caught another ball, and I don't know if that eclipsed the 60-yard mark. It did not. Son of a bitch. All right, we'll get to there in just a minute. Back to the game at hand. I didn't hear anything you two said.
Focus, Mike.
Yeah. That's all right.
That's my bad. I'm trying. You know, I'm a fan first, guys. I am a fan first. But Sam LaPorta is 3 yards away from winning this damn game for me. And I would just really love it.
You go ahead and watch the game. Bob and I got this.
All right.
We got the Taints here. You know, they had Tua going early. Amon-Ra still playing. I mean, what do you think's up for the Taints here? They're dropping to 4-4. Bob, do you think that they can pull out some magic out of their rear ends here coming up late in the season?
Not a lot of space for the Taints if you're talking about the rear end. I mean, it's gonna. Well, I'm sorry. They need to really start being smart with their lineup, is what I'm trying to say. You know, there's not a lot of space to make an error, and having Prescott in there this week and some of these other guys would have really helped him out. So I think I think Tate's got to be smart. I think Jason needs to really think about the quarterback situation team and hope that some of these players really get a move on, because I don't see a whole lot of points. So we need some luck. We need some luck for the Taints.
Bob, were you talking about acquiring a quarterback, or somebody? It wasn't my dad. Somebody was talking about Logan. I think Logan was talking about getting a quarterback. If I'm the Taints, gentlemen, Dak has already had his bye week. Once we get Tua past his bye week in week 10, maybe I'm looking to offload Dak, or like offload one of these guys, because Dak's got a great schedule going up for the rest of the year. High point totals. You're not going to play him over Tua, I don't think, unless Miami starts tanking it. But maybe it's time to move one of these guys for a piece, because the Taints aren't out of it, right? Maybe they're one piece away from actually being dangerous. Am I crazy?
No, this team says trade all over it. They should be making a deal right now to try to get a running back to make the team a little more level.
Yeah. Did you already talk about Joe Mixon on the bench, guys?
We kind of hit that point. Mixon on the bench. Yeah,
So
that's
he for the first half of the season wasn't doing anything, but that was the Cincinnati Bengals offense. They weren't doing anything either. But this week is maybe the point where I looked at, I watched that game almost in its entirety and saw Joe Burrow just in command of the offense. He was playing against me, of course, for the game that we have left to cover here. But Joe Mixon, 16 carries, 87 yards, touchdown, 11 points, and he caught 23 yards through the air as well. I think he's got to find a way into that lineup now. Like, we've finally seen it. So I think, it's finally his turn. I'm looking at the rest of the bench. Obviously he's getting Justin Jefferson back. The Taints roster, I think, can be something. I think he's one move away.
We'll have to see what that impact Jefferson has now without Kirky. So
I think, guys, I know Jameis, right? Jameis Winston, he is what he is, right? He's not going to win you a ton of games, but that dude can chuck the rock, right? And he's good for throwing the ball. I don't have the pessimism that you two do for those receivers.
Yeah, I think James, I think he has an ability to steal victories. So there's a chance. There's a chance that he comes back and maybe he's a sleeper and we're missing something.
Yeah. For the Coyotes, guys, they're moving to 500. Angelo, he's putting together a season here. Derrick Henry, I don't know. We've got less than 24 hours before the expiration of the trade deadline, but he did get 101 yards, no touchdowns. Aaron Jones is, I think, hopeless at this point, but Gus Edwards had 3 touchdowns. He's
19 carries, I think, is the important stat there. I mean, obviously for Angelo, 3 touchdowns, he kind of needed all those to win, but 19 carries, that's a good sign for Gus Edwards owners because he is getting the football.
Definitely. So, I think the Coyotes are definitely alive, right? They're, they've got points available to them and points to be scored. Bob, I don't know. Have you given out Coach of the Week or Oh Shit Life Comes At You Fast yet, or are you even aware of what that is?
No, I did do a little bit of research, and I think we've touched on Coach of the Week stuff already, and I agree with all the picks so far. And the Oh Shit At You Fast, I mean, that was a great call, Mike. So I think we've kind of covered those awards this week.
Okay, good to go. I just want to make sure I wasn't steamrolling you here, guys. I was trying to leave this game.
Dragging your feet. You're dragging your feet.
Yeah, I have. I've been dragging my feet because this thing is in doubt here. And I got to be honest. I was honest with you earlier. I'm not focused. There's 2 reasons why I'm not focused right now. I'm looking at the replacement score. They have 77 points as we're speaking. Somebody give Jahmyr Gibbs the ball, please. But then also give it to Stan LaPorta.
It's the 4th quarter, and Detroit has the football here. So
he did.
It might be okay.
He carried the ball for 4 yards. Oh, geez, man, this might be happening. This is live in living color. But the Sharks currently sitting at a 54-point total is the same as the Big Daddy's Bandits, 54 points. Guys, I got Sam LaPorta, 8 catches, 57 yards, and a touchdown. Can a brother get 3 more yards to win this damn game? I care about this too much. I don't know what the hell's going on. Somebody help me.
3 yards and a fumble.
Shut the fuck up.
Oh, Mike, if you didn't have bad luck, you wouldn't have any luck. That's what the toilet bowl winners always say.
How much time is left in that game now? How much?
There's 11 minutes. 11 minutes and 26 seconds. And Drew, don't forget you're talking to a Hall of Famer. All right, you're talking to a gosh darn Hall of Famer right here.
All right, I'm gonna look like Brady with all these rings here soon. But yeah, that's all right. I'm just waiting. I'm like Brady. I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting on the committee to meet, and then I'll be there too. So it's okay, Peyton. We'll let it go. It's not my fault. I played 7 more years than you. That's what Brady's saying. Just saying.
Yeah. What are you missing? What are you missing?
I'm missing everything except for the Super Bowl. I'm missing the picks and the eliminator.
Okay.
So, and Detroit looking like they might pull this one out. So staying alive in the eliminator and then 2nd place in the picks.
I don't think the eliminator has bearing on your Hall of Fame induction. I think it's just the picks.
Is it just picks? I think it's eliminator.
We'll check the rules, but the eliminator hasn't been around for the whole league, so I don't know if
Commish 2.0. You should know this stuff.
I should. You know, the Commish 1.0 was much better than I'll ever be. I can only hope to be 70% of what he was. I said that from day one. So I'll check the rules and I'll get back to you.
He's like Lou Holtz. You're like Ryan Day.
No. No.
Sorry. Couldn't help myself.
I think in that instance, I'd rather be compared to Urban Meyer, even as much as that hurts.
Why does that hurt? 7-0 against them.
Questionable morals is why that hurts.
Yeah, whatever.
So anyhow, we're getting off the rails. Bob, I'm looking at my roster. I got Lamar Jackson, who's bound to go off for 20 points or more any given week. Raheem Mostert's not dead yet. He still keeps scoring touchdowns. Tony Pollard has yet to bust out. Some people have lost faith. He's my first round pick. I still have the faith for Tony Pollard. CeeDee Lamb got his 19-point breakout week this week. Jared Goff's dropping back to pass, throwing the ball to nobody in particular. Puka Nacua, is he alive still with his quarterback injured or not? I'm not sure. I've got hope. That's good. Sam LaPorta obviously is getting it done, and Jake Elliott scores points. Guys, I feel like my roster's good. Yeah, what do you think, Bob? Do we have hope for the Sharks?
So Lamar Jackson's been like not Lamar Jackson, if you know what I mean. He's usually known for his legs, not his passing, but so far this year, it's like he's on the opposite streak. So I think you got to keep riding the Lamar Jackson hot streak. You told me after draft day that Tony Pollard was better than Barkley. And that night when I went to sleep, it bothered me that I messed my draft up because you kept telling me Pollard was better. I've yet to see it happen. But
what have you seen from Barkley to disprove that?
I don't know. He's got to stay healthy. He missed 4 games this year.
At least Pollard's scoring points.
True. Good point. But he's back. He's back now, so we'll see what happens.
He's back on the worst offense in the NFL.
Right. Thanks, Drew. But that's true.
Yeah. I know. I drafted Daniel Jones, so yeah, I know all about it.
And then I traded for him.
CeeDee
Lamb. Then dropped him. CeeDee Lamb, go ahead.
No,
sorry, Bob.
Having him on the team, he just does things that are amazing. So, Mike, I think there's a lot of optimism about the Land Sharks.
Yeah. All right. Now, I got to be honest. I was worried about the Bandits. Okay. I looked at his 3-4 record and I said, this dude, we've given him shit in the past, right? Mainly for his drafting Justin Tucker in the second round. Again, if he would have just played Harrison Butker instead of Justin Tucker, I wouldn't even be stammering, sweating, wondering if, hoping, wishing, praying. Are we praying? We might be. If Sam LaPorta was going to catch one more pass for 3 or more yards. Because Justin Tucker got 7 points and Harrison Butker had 10.
And missed another field goal.
He did. He missed a 50-plus yarder, which would have put this thing away. And you know what? Here we are. We're in Tiesville. But Joe Burrow is heating up. Alvin Kamara is back and scoring touchdowns, both rushing and receiving. Jamar Chase, I was like, can somebody please guard this man last week? Nobody did. He scored 100 yards and a touchdown. I don't even know. He played Calvin Austin the third. I don't even know who that guy is. I'm not going to lie to you. So I wasn't
2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
He's taken a 0 from CA3. Whoever that is.
He is related to Calvin Austin the second. I know that for a fact.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Not the first, though.
No.
It's a weird situation.
Right.
Yeah. But that's all we know about him.
Drew,
Right.
I know you're going to be pissed because Taysom Hill scored 15 points on the bench.
I told him, dude's electric, man. And, maybe they trade Taysom Hill to the Vikings. And, that might work out better for him. But we'll see. I don't know. He could play next to Hawkinson and then take snaps, throw the ball around. It'd be fun. Yeah, Justin Tucker, man. At this point, I'm dropping him. Is what I'm doing. I'm dropping him.
He's won and he's both won and lost him games.
He's won him 1 game. He's now lost them pretty much every other game because if we go back and look at the draft in the second round at all the names all the people he didn't take, that because he took Justin Tucker. So I think he's just cut bait at this point. It's not going to happen.
I still think that was a draft day. I don't think he meant to take him in the second round. I think his list got shuffled somewhere, and I think it was just an accident.
Yeah, I honestly, when it happened, I wasn't expecting it, so I didn't notice it right away. That could have been one where you're like, oh, yeah, I want him as my kicker, and you put him on the queue, and then you
Right.
walk away for a second, or you get logged out, and you take him. But we don't want to conflate facts with fun. You know, I know I said earlier we're a fact show. That's false. That's fake news.
Nobody's
We're
checking us.
we just roll with it. We go.
The
however
people
the
know
wind
that.
blows. Yeah,
You don't have to apologize for that. They
we
know.
there we are. Yeah, you took Justin Tucker in the second round, and I don't care how it happened. It's poor planning. Poor planning.
That's right. And Bob, you know, I see what you're trying to do. You know, you're trying to let the man down easy, but those are just excuses, Bob. And
Hey,
you know,
I've known Tommy Kearns for years, and you know he's when it comes to fantasy football, the guy's amazing with what he does on draft day. Seeing Justin Tucker taken in the second round, it's one of those draft Q mistakes. I think after this show, guys, I think it's time to put it to bed. I say we don't bring it up for the rest of the year. We need to let this one go. What do you think?
I promise I will not bring it up for 6 more days. And then when his kicker on the bench outscores Justin Tucker again, and he loses by 1 or 2, you got to bring it up. You can't help it. You're like, it's like the big red button that says "Don't push." You know, you gotta mash that thing down.
it's the Staples easy button for content, Bob. All right. all we have to do, we see the Big Daddy's Bandits on a game recap. All we have to do is press that damn button, and we got content. We have
6 viewers, and 3 of them are sitting here.
Well, no,
all right,
Drew. Bob just started going back and watching.
7.
Yeah, so he's number 7.
7.
Yeah.
That stat correction. See, we do have standards here, and we like to get things right. We have 7 viewers, and as you can tell, we're not real in depth here. We just like to smash that red button any chance we get.
Yeah. Long story short, I think I don't know. It's looking like a tie at this point, which just I don't know. I can't stand it.
It is. The quick update: the Lions have scored 3 more points. 26-14, 9:54 left.
Jahmyr Gibbs, 146 rushing yards. They are going to have to salt this thing away. 37 receiving yards. I don't know whether I'm hoping for more
fumble or 14 yards.
I don't know if personally, if I want Sam LaPorta to catch another pass, that more than Jahmyr Gibbs to get 14 more receiving yards. As the Raiders just launched one to Devontae Adams, it was thrown 10 yards out of bounds. He was wide ass open. That could have been something, but it wasn't.
Going back to what you want more, Jahmyr Gibbs or Sam LaPorta, I can tell you what 11 other people in this league want more.
Mm-hmm.
So your opinion in this situation is voided.
Okay. Now,
and
whether
we need a fumble or 14 yards.
Okay. Whether it's Jamar or Jahmyr Gibbs, either one, we'll take it either way.
Jimmy Gibbs.
I would agree with you on that. Now,
Gibbs.
I'm going to be honest with you, gents. I'm just stalling.
Whatever sticks.
Because
I know.
I don't know what the hell's going to happen. I'm a passenger in this game of NFL Monday Night Football. Drew, please take us to the look ahead to what's coming next week so that we can. I'm sure Bob's got better stuff to do. Let's help this guy out.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Next week we have the schedule right here. What are we on? Week 9 already. Man, time flies when you're having babies. Fun. Replacements at the Bucknuts. McCaffrey on bye. I'm excited.
Yeah,
I'm excited for this.
Replacements going to 6-2. The Bucknuts, my friends, are already at 6-2. This is by far, without question, game of the week.
I beat him to 6 wins. I haven't looked at my team yet to see what kind of sorcery we have going on. I'm sure there's something awful outside of Jordan Addison being non-startable, but it'll be fun. I think the fantasy gods have seen that Jordan Addison going out. Naturally they had to put that bye week there, so I like it.
Bob, do you think that Jordan Addison is the next guy on Drew's team that I should trade for and then drop?
I think there's going to be something happening with Addison here soon. I don't see him doing a whole lot with the QB situation there. So yeah, there could be a deal on the horizon.
Okay, good to know. We'll keep the viewers posted on any forthcoming issues there.
Next, we have the Taints at the Kings.
Taints going to 4-4. Bob and the Kings. Bob, what's your nickname again? I forgot it. I'm sorry.
Nostrobobus.
Nostrobobus going to 3.
Nostradamus.
What do you see next week? Is this going to be a 4-5 situation, or is hope going to be lost?
Feeling pretty good about the Kings for next week. I think we've got our stuff together now, and I think we've had all the bad luck we're going to have. I'm feeling pretty good about the matchup.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, I think we've mentioned that we are feeling pretty positive about it as well. We see good things ahead for you, man. The show curse be damned. You're gonna win this. You're gonna win this damn game.
Should we pick these games? Is that what we're doing here now? Are we picking them?
That's a great idea. Let's go back.
I mean, I'm winning. I think that's unanimous. But hey, you guys, whatever you think.
Bob, who you got replacements in the Bucknuts?
I tell you what, I think because of the bye situation, I think the Bucknuts are going to pull this one through.
Yeah, you know what? it is unanimous, Drew. Put me down. Logan, I can't wait for the soundbite next week.
That was good. Dump that fuel on that fire there. I have no snowball's chance in hell at winning this week. I'll just put that out there. I knew when I saw the CMC buy, I'm like, shut up. I couldn't do it. I had to bring it to all 7 of our fans, and 3 of them sitting here, or 5 others, 4 others, however many.
Drew,
Anyway,
I got a more important question. Who allegedly are we supposed to bet on to score an anytime touchdown if Christian McCaffrey's not playing?
I have no clue. I say we just pack it up.
All right.
Wait for week 10.
I don't know if you checked allegedly what we're currently at, but it's been a pretty good week.
It's a pretty good week. Yeah.
Allegedly.
Jalen Hurts wouldn't have screwed us and fumbled on the floor.
I know that some bitch.
We'd have had a great week.
It could have been a great week. Yeah.
Great week.
Mm-hmm.
Taints at Kings. I'm going Kings there.
I'm Kings. I'm a friend. Those who donate their time and are generous enough to come on and give takes, and not only just give takes, but be great guests on the show. Kings all day. Kings.
Yeah. Love to hear that.
I did forget to factor in the show curse, so I do have to switch my bet to the Taints.
No. I say, damn the show curse. I'm Kings all day.
We're going Kings. Kings.
I spit in the face of the show curse.
I like it. We're gonna put that.
Vamos Kings, Bob. Vamos Reyes.
Yes,
that's right. Then we got the Niners at Bushwhackers.
Niners going to 4-4. Bushwhackers, the best 2-6 I've ever seen.
Great 2-6. Niners on a 4-game losing streak to 4-4.
Let me start. Bushwhackers. They're moving to 3-6.
I agree. I mean, anytime you got the 69ers and the Bushwhackers together, I mean, I Whackers are going to get this win.
Yeah, that has to be the game of the week because you really hope that Bush was whacked.
Somebody's watching that footage. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, I like it. Then we got the Bandits at the Big Ass Wave.
Bandits. I don't know what the Bandits are going to be. I'm not going to lie to you. I hope that they're going to be 3-5, but at this point they could be 3-4-1. The Big Ass Wave is moving to 4-4. He's 500. He's back from Europe, Drew. He's back from Europe.
Yep.
This is a tough one. Bob, you got an opinion?
Yeah, I do. Although Tucker was taken in the second round, I still think Big Daddy's Bandits are going to win this game, and it's just the way I just see that game. I see that game. Big Daddy's having a big game.
Bob is just on the Big Daddy Bandits bandwagon. I'm going counter to you, sir. I'm going tsunami. I think they're gonna pull it together. They're gonna circle the wagons. They're gonna get that W. Do what I couldn't do.
Yeah. ETN's on bye.
Oh, Drew, why didn't you tell me that before I gave my pick?
I'm looking right now. But Mahomes has Miami, who's been giving up some yardage, some points.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's looking. Oh, I might have to go Bandits.
I'm telling you, Burrow is back. If we can remember anything from this,
they have Buffalo too, who's struggling, and he's got the stack, the Burrow Chase stack.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm on the Bandits. I'm on the Bandits this week. Yeah.
Gentlemen,
So finally, our first split decision here.
Jahmyr Gibbs has been taken out of the game. 77 is almost assuredly locked down.
That sucks.
Mm.
That
Congratulations, sucks. Logan. This is welcome to the league.
Yeah, we're real excited for you and shit.
Yeah, we're so happy for you.
You invited that fucking guy.
Son of a bitch.
I feel really.
Yeah, welcome to the league.
Oh, so happy that you did that.
Hate that guy. Oh, is my mic on? Shit. Sorry.
He did get engaged recently. Maybe this is his wedding present.
Slow clap, golf clap. Yeah,
Can somebody? We're at the 3-yard line. Can we just throw the ball to damn Sam LaPorta and put this thing in the end zone, please?
Nope. Cannot. All right. Back on to better news. We got the Empire and the Sharks. I got
Empire and the Sharks. The Sharks are pissed off, and we're gonna win this damn game.
The Sharks coming off the tie. He's kissing his sister here that he doesn't have, and
never had.
He's coming back. Yeah.
I don't think there's any other way to go but Sharks. But crazier things have happened, right? You wanna hope that this team can get their second win, but I want to be invited back on the show, so I can't. I got to pick Sharks.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good call.
Good call.
And Bob, hope is not a strategy. You know.
That's right.
As Josh Reynolds or whatever Reynolds just goes into the end zone and scores the points that should have been
Ryan Reynolds.
Wait, flag on the play.
Bring him back. Put Gibbs in. He's tired. Did he break a leg?
At this point, just give it to Sam. Give it to Sam.
No, at this point, give it to Jahmyr. And then the 2-point conversion to Sam that they don't need in the fourth quarter.
I'll take that. That's fine.
Okay. Club at Coyotes here to round it out.
Club Club's winning. They're going to 5-3. Coyotes going to 500, 4-4. That's a good game.
That's a game. Herbert has the Jets. So Eckler has the Jets. Jacobs got the Giants. Oh, lovely matchup.
Ooh.
And then Taylor has Carolina, another solid matchup. Thielen would obviously have Indy. Kittle and the Niners are on bye. So he has about 37 more tight ends that he can pick from.
Gentlemen, Jahmyr Gibbs is back in the game.
And?
2-yard carry, but there's more to come. They're on the 12th right now. Sorry to interrupt
12,
you.
Backed it up. No, that's big. That's big.
Club are playing who?
Club is playing the Coyotes. So, and then we got the Coyotes over there with Tyrod Taylor, starting quarterback. He has punctured a lung again, presumably. And Brock Purdy is on bye. So he does not have a quarterback. Derrick Henry, they're playing Pittsburgh. Aaron Jones, Green Bay is playing the Rams. Gus Edwards, Seattle.
I'm going Club. in a close match. It's gonna be.
I think we've heard enough when you don't have a quarterback and the team you're playing has Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a rough week for the Odis.
Yeah, I agree with Mike. Once you puncture your lung a couple times, you just don't recover from it.
Not next week. Next week. So yeah, unfortunately for the Odis, it's gonna be a rough week.
Guys, we got 3rd and goal from the 8. Jahmyr Gibbs is in the game. Sam LaPorta is in the game. Jahmyr Gibbs, 26 carries, 152 yards.
He needs a touchdown.
They're 3rd and goal from the 8. So either 8 yards or a touchdown, or throw it to Sam LaPorta selfishly.
Or a fumble.
Either way. Yeah, a fumble would work.
Not from LaPorta.
Gods. Did we get all the games for next week, or are we missing more?
No, we got them all.
Oh shit! What do we do now? Do we sign off?
I think we end this here and let Mike suffer in misery.
Oh.
Because not only is he going to tie, but the 77 pool is going to be wrapped up.
Yeah. I told myself at 6:00 this afternoon as I'll play action to Sam LaPorta, who dropped the ball.
Oh no! No! I think we lost Mike.
He's down.
Mike, it'll be okay. Get up. It'll be okay.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
He dropped the ball.
he dropped the ball.
He dropped the ball.
He dropped the ball, guys.
That doesn't help anybody.
Oh,
He felt bad for the Raiders.
oh.
That was 3rd and 8, wasn't it?
Yeah, he at
That
least
was
had
third
3
and 8.
yards. That hurts.
Wow.
All right, Bob, you got any parting words?
No, I just appreciate the invite. Being on the show was a blast. You know, I enjoyed spending time with you boys and talking some football. So I appreciate it.
It was good. It was good. It was real. It was good. It was really good. We'll do it again.
Yeah, you know what? We've been blessed and fortunate to have some awesome guests that have donated their time and come on the show. But Bob, you brought the heat today, man.
You did.
This was great. I texted Logan, who gave me that soundbite earlier today, and I told him, Logan, you're going to want to listen to this one. It's gold. I think you did a great job. You brought a lot to the table, and I appreciate it very much, sir. Thanks for your time.
Speaking of gold, he's going to be rolling in it with that 77 pot bastard.
I know this.
Good job, Logan. Take it off mute. Good job, Logan. Yeah.
Congrats, Logan. We're so proud of you and happy
to have you here. We wouldn't trade you for anybody, literally anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And worst of luck next week.
Definitely. Yeah. Good luck to all coaches, the 7 fans who are watching, all the coaches who are playing. Please, can we get Detroit the ball back so that Sam LaPorta can try and catch another ball, or Jahmyr Gibbs can run a couple more yards?
For Bob,
for Drew, this is Mike signing off. I hope you guys have a great week number 9. It's hard to believe. My goodness. Good luck in week 9.
We're out.